so college starts in like a few weeks, and this year I decided like, maybe I should make my room look like kind of decent, you know? So I'm bored at home and I decided to do a DIY project. So over the last few summers, every like summer, if that makes any sense. I'm saying summer too much. Okay, every summer I've decided to like pick up some random DIY project, and just because I'm bored at home, I literally have nothing to do. This is what I made last year and I'm pretty proud of it, okay? Look, it's like this concrete planner. It's like a geometric design. If you look closely, there's like two colors. So there's the black and then there's the gray concrete, and I've been growing this plant in it. Now that I think about it, this has been alive for a year, so I'm pretty proud of myself. I can take care of a plant. Okay, but anyways, just like last year and the summer before and the summer before, I'm bored at home again, so why not do a DIY project? You're probably bored at home, so why don't you do a DIY project, right? Today, what we're gonna be making is like these fake neon signs. Obviously, we're not gonna make real neon signs because that requires like glass blowing and really hot glass and neon gas. I don't have any of that stuff. So we're gonna make fake neon signs, but they look like the real thing. Like, I'm not even kidding. I watched a few videos on this to get inspiration and they look pretty real. So I'm excited to do this. I hope it works because it's gonna make my room lit. Pun intended, haha, I'm so funny, oh my gosh. Okay, anyways, let's just start the project. So now I'm gonna show you what materials you need. Now you're probably not gonna need like half of these materials because I'm a perfectionist and I need this looking as perfect as possible, so I did a ton of extra steps, which I guess isn't a bad thing because it's probably gonna look out really good, but if you just want to get it done and make it super easy and cheap, I'll tell you what you need to do and what you don't need to do out of all this extra stuff that I'm doing. So the materials that I used are, first, I have this drawing pad. It's just like the standard drawing pad where I'm going to draw out my design. Next, we have this wooden board. So I used like this composite wood blend thing I found at Home Depot, and it's just like this really thin, cheap wood. You could obviously do this with like foam board or something, but probably only going to be like $2 cheaper. So if you're trying to make this neon sign like permanent and looking good, I get some of this like composite wood board. Next, obviously you're not going to use that ugly brown color unless it matches with like your color scheme or whatever, but I got some spray paint. So the spray paint I got is like this metallic dark gray, and I think this is gonna look really cool because once you spray it on, it's metallic, so it's gonna like reflect the light off of it. Okay, I honestly don't know if it's gonna do that. I'm just trying to sound like I know what I'm doing, but we're gonna find out. Next, you're gonna need a hammer and like this pointy tool that I just do this with. Honestly, you're not gonna need this, so I'm just a perfectionist, so this is one of those things that you're probably not gonna need, but I used anyways. Then you're gonna need a drill. So this is to drill the holes in the wood, and yeah, that's basically it. Obviously you need a pencil because how else are you gonna draw out your design? And then finally, the EL wire. So this wire is like pretty thin, but let me tell you, it looks exactly like a neon sign. Let me turn it on. I'm about to do this trick I see all the YouTubers do. Okay, all you do is snap and it's gonna magically turn on, okay? Watch this. Wow, it turned on, okay. So this is what it looks like, and you have to admit, it looks like a neon sign. So I got this off of eBay, I think. They also have it on Amazon and basically everywhere. They're pretty cheap. I think this one was about $8 or $10 for 16 feet. And that's like the perfect amount for our design. So before you buy your wire, draw out your design and see how much you need and then buy it. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is like brainstorm some ideas. Now, this was kind of tough for me because I really didn't know what I wanna make for my neon sign. But I just decided to like make a peace sign because, you know, I don't know why I decided to make it, but that's besides the point. I'm making a peace sign, and literally you just have to like Google blank neon signs to get inspiration. You'll see different kinds of shapes and stuff and just draw out your project. So this is where the paper came in handy. I drew out my project. Now, as you can see, there's like a grid on the paper, and this is because I did a lot of art in junior high and high school, and one thing I learned that really helps me draw accurately is make a grid. So if you have your reference picture, if you print it out or use your phone, put a grid over it and then draw a grid on your paper, and then it's so much easier to track where you need to draw what. If you're not a perfectionist, you can literally just draw your design on the board already. You don't have to draw it on paper because it's just so much extra work to draw it on the paper and then transfer it to the board. So if you just want to get it done, draw it on the board. So now that you have your whole thing drawn out, the whole thing about making this look like a neon sign is weaving the EL wire in and out of the board to make it look like a neon sign that has different pieces and connections and whatever. Your design is gonna start and end in places. For example, it's gonna start here and then it's gonna go all the way around until it ends right here. And then it's gonna start back up here and then go all the way around and end over here. Or you could do it this way or that way or whatever. So you're gonna have to identify these starting and ending points. And what I'd recommend is you probably drawn out with pencils, so go with like a colored marker, highlighter, whatever, and just like put a dot on these points. And I'll be back once I get all the dots down. Okay, so I think I have all the dots down, and now what you're gonna wanna do is connect all these dots together. So first, obviously, I'm gonna choose this as my starting point. This is where the EL wire is gonna come out of the first time, and we're just gonna follow the line along our design, and it's gonna go here, and then here's an ending point. So this is where it's gonna go back in the board. And once it's on the other side of the board, it's gonna go through the back until you get to another point and then come out again. So this is where you wanna draw these connections. So it's gonna go from here all the way to here, and then it's come back out. So we're gonna follow the design again until we hit another one. So here it's going back in the board, and we're gonna come out through another one. So I'm gonna choose this one. We're gonna go through the board and then come out here. And then this is our last one. We're just gonna go all the way out until we go back in for the final dot. And that's basically how your design is gonna look. The graphite pencil part is what's gonna be on the front, and the red part is what's gonna be on the back. So obviously the next step is to transfer it on the board. As you can see, I have like all these little dots up here, and this is because I put the paper on the board, and that's where I used the little hammer and like pointy thing. I just like went around my design and was like, and that's how I got the little dots on the board to trace out my design. So once you have your designs transferred on the board, it's time to drill. So before you start drilling away into that board, let me give you a precaution. Obviously you need a hole that's like the perfect size for your EL wire to fit through. You don't want it to be too small because obviously it won't fit. And you don't want to be too large because then you'll just have like this large ugly hole. So what I advise doing is, if you're gonna get like a board from Home Depot or something, you're probably gonna have to cut it. So I have a spare piece of board from what I cut off the original to get the size I need for my sign. And what I did here is I drilled different size drill bits to see what size is perfect for the EL wire. Now, unfortunately, you're gonna have to do the same thing because EL wire isn't consistent. Some people sell thicker ones, some people sell thin, some people... Why can't I say that? Some people say thicker ones, not even, oh my gosh. Some people sell thicker ones, some people sell thinner ones. For me and my EL wire, what worked best is a 7/64 drill bit. And basically, I just drilled these different holes. I put the EL wire in the hole and just tested it out. Okay, so I just finished drilling all these holes, and I did it over grass so that the drill wouldn't like hit any concrete under it or anything. As you can see, I have all my holes drilled like where all the connections will have to go in and out of the paper. The next step is spray paint. We're gonna go spray paint our board after we've drilled it. So this is a huge tip. Drill before you paint, because if you paint your entire board and then you drill it, the drill might chip the wood and you're gonna have like these ugly chips of brown color, and you're gonna have to risk painting it again and not having like splotches and stuff. So drill before you paint. Now that we've got our board drilled, I'm gonna go spray paint. I'm not gonna show it because this is gonna be like a long process unless you guys like watching paint dry, but whatever, I'm not gonna show it. I'm just gonna do maybe 2, maybe 3 layers, and I'll be back once it's dry. I have my board spray painted. This is the metallic dark grayish blackish color that I have. And it has a pretty cool effect. It like reflects light and it has like this rustic splotchy pattern. I think it looks cool. So I've got this. I have my hot glue gun heating up. I just have this for my reference photos so I know where I need to go in and out. And I'm just doing this on a blanket to like not ruin the wooden flooring, but let's get started. So I got my wire and we're just gonna start going at it through the first hole. Hot glue didn't work, so now I have like this super glue, and that's what we're gonna use because I don't have anything else. And I'm wearing gloves because literally every single time I use super glue, I like get it all over my fingers and it just makes me so mad. So I have gloves and we're using super glue. Okay, so this is what I was talking about going in and out of the board. So I just went into the board right at this point where I drilled a hole, and now I'm coming out right at this other point. As you can see, I drew this out on my paper. I'm gonna go in here, it's gonna go behind the board, and it's gonna come out. After 2 hours, haha, get it too, because it's a peace sign, we're done. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I think this neon sign turned out pretty well. It looks really accurate. The colors and everything looks so good, and I'm really excited to take it to college. I'm probably gonna do like a dorm apartment tour once I settle in and everything, so look forward to that. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure to subscribe, like the video. If you make this yourself, you should send it to me on my Instagram or Twitter. The links are down below. And I guess that's it. So see you next week. Peace.